Imagine this. You're standing in front of your freezer, looking for something quick to eat. You see frozen meals, vegetables, maybe even ice cream, and you assume it's all just convenience food. But what if I told you your freezer could actually be your most powerful anti-aging tool? Sounds impossible, right? After all, most people over 60 are warned to stay away from frozen foods. But here's what almost no one knows. When chosen correctly, some frozen foods can slow aging, sharpen your memory, and protect your joints better than so-called fresh foods. Recent research from leading nutrition institutes has revealed something shocking. Many frozen foods, when flash frozen at their peak ripeness, hold on to more nutrients, antioxidants, and vitamins than what's sitting in your fridge right now. In other words, your freezer can either age you or heal you. Think about that. While most seniors reach for frozen pizza or fried snacks that quietly harm their heart and brain, a small handful of people are using frozen superfoods to stay lean, energetic, and pain-free well into their 70s and 80s. No fancy supplements, no expensive diets, just smart freezer choices. So let me ask you this. What's really hiding in your freezer? Is it fueling your health or slowly draining it? Before we dive in, tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. I read every single one. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because what you're about to learn could completely change the way you eat, heal, and age, starting right from your freezer. All right, let's begin. Here are the 4 best frozen foods every senior should eat daily to stay strong, sharp, and full of life. Frozen food. Number 5. Wild-caught fish. Frozen at peak freshness. Imagine taking a simple fillet out of your freezer, throwing it in the oven, and giving your body one of the strongest anti-aging medicines available. That's exactly what wild-caught frozen fish can do when chosen smartly. Unlike many fresh fish that sit in trucks or on ice for days, wild fish destined for freezing are often flash frozen within hours of being caught. That means their omega-3s, protein, vitamins, and antioxidants are locked in, right there at their peak. In fact, fish and seafood are the major sources of long-chain omega-3 fatty acids, EPA, DHA, along with other critical nutrients like vitamin D and selenium, which support heart health, brain function, and metabolism. For seniors, this matters more than ever. As we age, inflammation tends to creep in. Joints stiffen, brain fog sets in, and muscles begin to weaken. But regularly eating wild fish helps buffer these changes. In a large study with over 400,000 older adults, even 1 to 2 servings of non-fried fish per week were tied to lower risk of death from heart disease, liver disease, and more. Other research shows that seniors with higher blood levels of omega-3s had better cognitive health and reduced risk of chronic disease. Here's how it turns from just dinner into healing medicine. Anti-inflammatory shield. Omega-3 fats help quiet down the body's inflammatory fires. Heart and vessel protection. These fats help maintain artery flexibility, lower triglycerides, and reduce risks of arrhythmias or clogged vessels. Brain support. DHA and EPA are especially beneficial to nerve cells, helping preserve memory and thinking speed with age. Muscle and bone defense. Wild fish is lean, high-quality protein, plus nutrients like vitamin D and selenium, essential for maintaining strength and reducing fracture risk. Real-life example, adapted from original concept. A senior, Elaine, started incorporating individually frozen salmon fillets into her routine twice weekly. Within about 10 weeks, she reported more energy, less joint ache, and her doctor confirmed her triglyceride levels dropped significantly. How to enjoy it right now. Cook straight from frozen, no thawing needed. Bake or pan-sear with herbs, lemon, garlic. Use plain, unbreaded fillets. Skip coated or heavily processed fish. Rotate types: salmon, sardines, mackerel, cod. This minimizes heavy metal risks and gives variety. Pair with steamed or roasted frozen vegetables to balance your meal. In short, wild-caught frozen fish isn't just convenient. It can be one of the most powerful foods in your freezer to fight aging from the inside out. Frozen food. Number 4. Frozen vegetables. Hidden power in your freezer. Most people look at frozen vegetables and think of them as an emergency backup, something to eat when they don't have time to cook. But the truth is far more surprising. Those simple bags of frozen peas, spinach, or broccoli that sit quietly in your freezer might be some of the most powerful tools to protect your body from aging. Researchers at the University of Georgia and the USDA have both confirmed that frozen vegetables retain nearly all of their vitamins and minerals, sometimes even more than fresh ones. The reason is simple. Fresh vegetables often travel long distances, sitting for days in trucks, warehouses, and grocery shelves before you buy them. By the time they reach your plate, much of their vitamin C, folate, and antioxidants have already faded away. But frozen vegetables are different. They're picked at their absolute peak ripeness, when nutrient levels are at their highest, and then flash frozen within hours. That instant freezing process locks in the nutrition, the flavor, and even the natural color that signals health. For people over 60, this difference is not just about numbers on a chart. It's about how your body feels every day. Frozen spinach, for example, still contains high levels of lutein and beta-carotene, both of which protect your eyesight and lower your risk of macular degeneration. Frozen broccoli and cauliflower remain rich in sulforaphane and vitamin K, nutrients that help your liver detoxify harmful substances and keep your bones strong. And frozen peas or green beans provide plant-based protein, magnesium, and fiber that help keep digestion smooth and blood sugar steady. When you eat them regularly, you're not just filling your plate, you're rebuilding your body cell by cell. Think about it. Your joints, your heart, your brain. They all depend on steady nutrients and antioxidants that prevent damage from inflammation. Every time you skip your vegetables or rely only on overcooked or wilted produce, you lose that shield. But frozen vegetables give you an easy way to build that protection every single day. One of the biggest advantages of frozen vegetables is convenience that doesn't compromise health. Imagine this. You come home tired, not in the mood to chop or clean, and you think maybe you'll skip the healthy meal tonight. But then you remember you have a bag of mixed frozen veggies in your freezer. In just 5 minutes, you can steam them, toss them with olive oil, and have a nutrient-rich dinner that your body will thank you for. In studies published by the American Dietetic Association, seniors who regularly included frozen vegetables in their meals had higher overall nutrient intake, especially vitamins A, C, and fiber, compared to those who relied only on fresh. That's because having frozen vegetables on hand removes the biggest barrier to eating healthy: preparation time. You don't have to clean, peel, or chop. The work is already done for you. That means even on your busiest or most tired days, you can still give your body what it needs to stay young and strong. Frozen vegetables are also powerful allies in fighting inflammation and slowing the diseases that come with aging. The antioxidants in spinach, kale, and carrots neutralize free radicals, tiny, unstable molecules that cause cell damage and lead to joint stiffness, wrinkles, and fatigue. A 2022 study in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition found that older adults who consumed more antioxidant-rich vegetables had lower markers of inflammation and better mobility scores. These benefits aren't theoretical, they translate into real life. Picture this. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher, had always struggled with cooking fresh vegetables because of arthritis in her hands. Chopping and peeling became difficult, so she often skipped them. Her diet mostly came from processed or canned foods. When her daughter suggested switching to frozen vegetables, she tried it reluctantly. 3 months later, her energy improved, her digestion felt smoother, and she noticed her skin looked clearer. Her doctor told her that her iron and folate levels had improved, and her blood pressure was slightly lower. All she had changed was adding half a cup of mixed frozen vegetables to her meals twice a day. That's how powerful these foods can be when used consistently. And while many people worry that frozen means less fresh, the truth is that the freezing process is one of the cleanest preservation methods available. There are no added chemicals or preservatives, just cold air doing what nature intended. The nutrients stay locked in, and bacteria growth is stopped instantly. It's nature paused in time. The same spinach leaf that was full of iron and chlorophyll on the farm remains just as potent months later in your freezer. Harvard researchers even noted that the nutrient loss in properly stored frozen vegetables over 12 months was less than 10%, far less than what happens to fresh produce sitting for a week in your fridge. For seniors who are serious about maintaining independence and health, frozen vegetables also offer something deeper: stability. You don't have to rely on what's available in season or worry about vegetables spoiling before you get to them. It means you always have access to a full spectrum of nutrients all year long at an affordable price. This is not just convenience, it's a safety net for your health. Imagine being able to support your heart, your bones, and your immune system just by keeping a few colorful bags in your freezer. That's not science fiction, it's simple, smart nutrition. And it's not only about what's in the vegetables, it's about what they help you avoid. People who replace ultra-processed foods or salty snacks with frozen vegetables automatically reduce their sodium, sugar, and unhealthy fat intake. The fiber in vegetables helps regulate digestion, lowers cholesterol, and supports the gut microbiome, something modern science now connects directly to longevity. Your gut health affects everything from your mood to your immune system, and frozen vegetables feed the good bacteria that keep it balanced. When you eat more of them, you're not just helping your stomach, you're strengthening your whole system. So the next time someone says frozen foods aren't good for you, remember this: what's sitting quietly in your freezer may be doing more to protect your heart, joints, and brain than most expensive supplements ever could. They're fast, affordable, and reliable, and they don't lose their power just because they're cold. Frozen vegetables aren't a shortcut. They're a smart choice backed by science. Every time you open that freezer and reach for a bag of green, orange, or red vegetables, you're saying yes to more energy, clearer skin, stronger bones, and a healthier heart. It's not just food, it's your body's daily repair kit, waiting for you to use it. Frozen food. Number 3. Frozen avocados. The hidden heart protector. Now, here's a frozen food most people don't even realize exists, but it deserves a spot on your list. Frozen avocados. Yes, that creamy green fruit that everyone loves on toast is now available pre-cut and frozen, and it's one of the most underrated health boosters you can keep in your freezer. Avocados are packed with healthy fats, especially monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil, known to support heart health and lower bad cholesterol levels. What makes frozen avocados special is how they preserve those delicate oils and nutrients that fresh ones often lose after a few days on the counter. Freezing locks in their vitamin E, potassium, and antioxidants, turning them into a perfect tool for joint health, smoother skin, and better brain function. For seniors over 60, this matters more than ever. Studies from the American Heart Association show that diets rich in avocado fat can reduce the risk of heart disease by up to 21%. And because frozen avocado chunks are already peeled and ready, you can add them straight to smoothies, soups, or spreads without worrying about ripeness or waste. They blend beautifully into your morning shake, making it creamier while delivering nutrients that protect your heart and support your nerves. Plus, avocado's natural magnesium content helps muscles relax, reduces nighttime cramps, and supports a calmer sleep. So next time you open your freezer, remember that health doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Sometimes it's as simple as adding a handful of frozen avocado to your day and letting its good fats do their quiet, healing work inside your body. Frozen food. Number 2. Frozen berries. Nature's smartest anti-aging weapon. Most people think frozen fruits are just a convenient backup for when fresh isn't available. But what if I told you that frozen berries, yes, the ones sitting quietly in your freezer, might actually be more nutritious than the ones you just bought fresh yesterday? This might sound unbelievable, but the science behind it is powerful. Research from the University of California, Davis, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, found that fruits frozen immediately after harvest often contain equal or even higher levels of vitamins and antioxidants compared to fresh fruits that have been stored or transported for several days. Here's why. When berries are picked, their nutrient levels start to drop almost instantly. Vitamin C, for example, begins to degrade within hours at room temperature. But when berries are flash frozen at -18 degrees Celsius right after picking, those nutrients are locked in, preserved at their absolute peak. So what does this mean for you, especially if you're over 60? It means that the very thing most people ignore in the freezer aisle could be your most powerful defense against aging. Brain protection and memory boost. Let's start with the brain. One of the most fascinating studies came from Harvard University's Nurses' Health Study, which tracked over 16,000 women aged 70 and older. The researchers found that women who ate blueberries and strawberries at least twice a week had a slower rate of cognitive decline equivalent to delaying brain aging by 2.5 years. That's not marketing hype, that's peer-reviewed science. These results are linked to powerful compounds inside berries known as anthocyanins, the pigments that give blueberries and blackberries their deep blue and purple colors. Anthocyanins help protect brain cells from oxidative stress and improve communication between neurons. Simply put, they help your brain stay young. In another 2021 study from Tufts University, older adults who consumed 1 cup of blueberries daily showed measurable improvements in memory and executive function compared to those who didn't. The researchers called blueberries a functional food for the aging brain. So when you toss a handful of frozen berries into your morning oatmeal or yogurt, you're not just adding flavor, you're literally feeding your brain the nutrients it needs to stay sharp and active. Heart and circulation. Support. Now, let's talk about your heart, the engine that keeps you alive. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, people who regularly eat berries have a significantly lower risk of heart attack and stroke. That's because the natural antioxidants in berries improve the flexibility of blood vessels and reduce the sticky buildup of cholesterol inside arteries. One Harvard study followed 93,000 participants and found that those who ate berries 3 or more times per week had a 34% lower risk of heart attack. Why? Because berries enhance nitric oxide production, which keeps blood flowing smoothly and prevents dangerous clots. For seniors, this is huge. The circulatory system tends to weaken with age. Arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises, and the risk of stroke increases. But adding frozen berries to your diet is like sending a daily dose of nature's blood thinner through your body without any side effects. Inflammation and joint health. Another hidden power of berries lies in their ability to fight inflammation, the root cause of most age-related diseases, from arthritis to diabetes. A 2020 review published in Nutrients Journal concluded that polyphenols in berries have strong anti-inflammatory effects by reducing markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6, IL-6. These are the same markers that rise with chronic joint pain and fatigue. If you're someone who wakes up stiff or with swollen knees, those anthocyanins and polyphenols in berries might just be the gentle medicine your joints need. And since frozen berries are available all year round, you can keep that anti-inflammatory shield active, rain or shine. The truth about frozen versus fresh. A lot of people over 60 hesitate to buy frozen food because they think it's full of preservatives. But here's the truth. Frozen berries contain no additives or chemicals, just pure fruit, sealed at its best moment. In fact, a report from the British Nutrition Foundation showed that freezing fruits like blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries helps them retain up to 90 to 95% of their antioxidants and polyphenols for several months. By contrast, fresh berries that spend 7 to 10 days in storage before reaching your kitchen lose up to half their vitamin C and anthocyanins. So the next time you're choosing between a shiny box of fresh strawberries and a bag of frozen ones, remember, the frozen berries are often closer to what came off the plant. Real-world example. How frozen berries changed a life. Meet Robert, a 67-year-old retired engineer from Florida. For years, he struggled with morning fatigue and occasional brain fog. His doctor told him it was normal for his age. One day, Robert read about the cognitive benefits of berries and decided to make a small change. Every morning, he'd add a cup of mixed frozen berries, blueberries, and blackberries to his oatmeal. 3 months later, his story changed. His morning alertness improved, his energy felt steady throughout the day, and even his cholesterol numbers improved slightly. His doctor was surprised, but Robert wasn't. He had simply discovered what science already knew. Frozen berries can retrain your body to feel young again. How to add frozen berries to your daily routine. Morning brain booster. Add 1/2 to 1 cup of mixed frozen berries to your oatmeal, smoothie, or Greek yogurt. Midday snack. Mix them with a few walnuts or almonds for an antioxidant protein combo that supports brain and heart function. Evening dessert. Heat frozen berries for 30 seconds in the microwave and drizzle them over low-fat yogurt or dark chocolate. Pro tip: don't thaw them for too long. Slightly frozen berries release their antioxidants more slowly in the digestive system, providing a longer-lasting effect. Environmental and economic bonus: frozen berries aren't just healthy for your body, they're good for your wallet and the planet too. Because freezing extends shelf life, there's less food waste, fewer transport emissions, and lower costs overall. The National Resources Defense Council, NRDC, estimates that up to 40% of fresh produce in the U.S. is thrown away before being eaten. Frozen berries help fix that problem, letting you enjoy perfect fruit whenever you want without wasting a single berry. The bottom line: frozen berries are not second best. They are one of the most nutrient-dense, research-backed, and accessible foods for people over 60. Whether it's your brain, heart, skin, or joints, these little frozen gems protect every part of you from the inside out. They're rich in fiber, packed with vitamins, and bursting with plant compounds that science has proven can slow the biological clock. So the next time someone says frozen foods aren't healthy, just smile. And remember, sometimes the best medicine doesn't come from a pharmacy. It comes from your freezer. Frozen food. Number 1. Frozen berries, nature's anti-aging candy. If there's one food that truly deserves to be called nature's anti-aging secret, it's berries. And the good news is, you don't have to wait for summer to enjoy them. Frozen berries, whether it's blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, or blackberries, are little jewels packed with compounds that slow down the aging process from the inside out. What makes them extraordinary isn't just their taste or color, it's the science behind what they do inside your body. Studies from Harvard and Tufts University have found that people who eat berries at least twice a week show slower cognitive decline as they age. In simple words, their memory stays sharper, their focus remains stronger, and their brain cells age more slowly. And here's the most surprising part: frozen berries are often just as powerful, sometimes even more nutritious, than fresh ones. Because they're frozen right after harvesting, often within a few hours, they retain nearly all their antioxidants, vitamin C, and fiber. Fresh berries, on the other hand, start losing their potency as soon as they're picked. By the time they reach your plate days later, the antioxidant levels have already dropped. So that bag of frozen blueberries sitting quietly in your freezer? It's actually one of the most advanced anti-aging medicines your kitchen could ever hold. For people over 60, frozen berries are more than a snack. They're a natural defense system. Let's start with what happens inside your body every day. As we age, our cells face something called oxidative stress. Think of it as rust forming slowly inside your system, damaging cells, joints, and even DNA. This process is behind wrinkles, stiffness, fatigue, and slower thinking. The antioxidants in berries, especially anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blue and red color, work like soldiers, fighting that rust and keeping your cells clean and functional. 1 cup of frozen blueberries can contain more antioxidants than 5 servings of most other fruits. When you blend them into your breakfast smoothie or sprinkle them on your oatmeal, you're not just eating, you're repairing. Each bite sends a wave of nutrients through your bloodstream that helps strengthen your heart, cleanse your arteries, and protect your brain from the inflammation that leads to memory loss. Harvard's 20-year Nurses' Health Study found that women who consumed more berries had significantly lower risks of heart disease and dementia. Imagine that. A small daily habit like adding frozen berries to your morning can literally change the future of your health. Frozen berries also play a remarkable role in balancing blood sugar and supporting digestion, two major concerns for seniors. While they taste sweet, their natural sugars are balanced by high fiber, which slows absorption and prevents sugar spikes. This means you get steady energy instead of fatigue and hunger crashes. In fact, a 2021 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that participants who consumed blueberries daily experienced better insulin sensitivity, which is crucial for controlling type 2 diabetes. And because frozen berries are softer and easier to digest, they're perfect for older adults who have sensitive teeth or weaker digestion. You can add them to warm oatmeal, yogurt, or even soups for a refreshing, colorful twist. The fiber they contain feeds the healthy bacteria in your gut, improving your microbiome, the same system that influences immunity, mood, and even sleep quality. So, with every spoonful of frozen berries, you're helping your body stay balanced from head to toe. The beauty of frozen berries also lies in how simple they make healthy living. You don't need to wash, cut, or worry about them spoiling. You just open the bag, pour a handful, and within seconds, you've added a powerful layer of protection to your day. There's no waste, no guilt, no rush to eat them before they go bad. That convenience is not just about saving time, it's about consistency. Most people know what's healthy but struggle to do it every day. Frozen berries remove that barrier completely. They're always ready, always full of life, and always waiting to give your body what it truly needs. And perhaps the most beautiful thing about them is how they help your body feel younger, not just in numbers, but in energy, skin, and mood. Their antioxidants improve circulation, which means better oxygen flow to your skin and muscles. Many people who start eating berries regularly notice that their skin looks fresher, their sleep improves, and their morning fatigue starts to fade. That's because berries don't just feed your body, they feed your cells. A Japanese study in 2023 even linked berry antioxidants to increased collagen protection, which keeps your skin elastic and reduces fine lines. So, every time you enjoy that purple-blue smoothie, think of it as skincare from the inside out. Now let's talk about the brain. Because aging gracefully isn't just about looking young, it's about staying sharp. Our brain, like every other organ, suffers from oxidative stress and inflammation. Over time, that leads to slower memory recall and reduced focus. But compounds in berries, like flavonoids and resveratrol, literally protect the communication between your brain cells. Think of it as keeping your brain's wiring young and flexible. In one fascinating study, older adults who consumed just 1 cup of blueberries daily for 12 weeks performed better on memory and coordination tests compared to those who didn't. Their brains actually showed improved function in MRI scans. That's not magic, it's nutrition doing what medicine often can't. Real people are already living proof of this. Take the story of Harold, a 68-year-old retired engineer from Texas. He used to forget small things, where he placed his keys, what he went into the kitchen for, and assumed it was just normal aging. His granddaughter suggested adding frozen blueberries to his breakfast every morning. 6 months later, he reported not only better memory, but more focus during his daily walks and puzzle sessions. His doctor noted a slight improvement in blood pressure and cholesterol as well. Harold's story isn't unique. It's exactly what researchers expect when antioxidants start reversing years of cellular stress. Frozen berries are also powerful mood boosters. They contain natural compounds that support serotonin production, the feel-good hormone that helps regulate mood and calm anxiety. That's one reason why many dietitians now recommend them for older adults dealing with mild depression or seasonal fatigue. They brighten your plate and your mind at the same time. The color, the flavor, the nutrients all work together to lift your energy and mood naturally. It's like nature's antidepressant, delivered in a bowl of color. And for those who worry that freezing destroys vitamins, don't. Research from the University of Chester in the UK found that after 6 months in the freezer, berries retained 95% of their original vitamin C and 100% of their antioxidants. In contrast, fresh berries stored in the refrigerator for just 3 days lost nearly half their nutrients. So, that frosty coating you see on your frozen strawberries isn't a sign of damage, it's a sign of preservation. Science is literally freezing nature's power in time so you can access it whenever you want. When you put it all together, frozen berries represent one of the simplest, smartest, and most delicious habits anyone over 60 can build. They're proof that aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean getting smarter with your choices. You don't need expensive supplements, imported powders, or complicated diets. All you need is a handful of frozen berries each day, on yogurt, in smoothies, with oatmeal, or even as a quick snack. You'll be giving your heart, brain, skin, and joints a dose of rejuvenation every single day. So, next time you open your freezer and see that bag of frozen berries, don't think of them as just fruit. Think of them as your personal time machine, a delicious, colorful, and natural way to feel younger from the inside out. Because sometimes the simplest choices are the ones that bring the biggest transformations. And there you have it, 5 frozen foods that keep your body younger, stronger, and full of life. Simple, affordable, and backed by real science. So, before you grab another processed snack, open your freezer instead. Your health might just be waiting inside. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs